Introducing the finalists for the uneven bar. Natalie Westlund of Sweden qualified 6th with a 13.200. She'll go first in the rotation. Becky Downey of Great Britain qualified as the top contender in the uneven bars. 13.933 for the now 32-year-old. Should say Rebecca Downey, MBE, member of the Order of the British Empire at last year's New Year's Honours. Julie Morano of Italy will go third. Second competitor from Great Britain will go fourth, Ondine Achampong, who turned 20 a week ago. Fukasawa Kokoro of Japan will go fifth. She qualified fourth overall with a 13.500. For a long time a staple of the Australian program, now representing New Zealand, Georgia Rose Brown, second in qualification. Huang Chuofan of China will go seventh. And also from the People's Republic of China, 23-year-old Luo Wan, who returns to the World Cup circuit for the first time since 2018. Rings final will feature Artur Avetisyan of Armenia. He qualified top. Nikita Simonov, always a challenge for medals from Azerbaijan. The now 27-year-old. 33-year-old Jongyong-il of Korea DPR will go third in the rotation. Daniel Villafane of Argentina qualified 8th, but is delighted to be competing in this final. It's a big final for him. Samir Ait Said of France will go 5th, qualified 4th overall. Courtney Tulloch, he's got the highest D score at 6.4. Salvatore Maresca, gymnast who took bronze in Cairo in 2022. He was on the podium as well last year. Bahagan Davcan, 35-year-old from Armenia, will go 8th in the rotation. The uneven bars final, 8 top-level athletes, but the men's rings final, incredibly tight final that awaits us. And what's really interesting is that the top qualifier of Tisyan of Armenia has a considerably lower D score than many of the other competitors, but he executed his routine so well it didn't matter in the end. Courtney Tulloch has got the opposite strategy. He'll go 6th in the rotation, and he's got a D score of 6.4. He shed a few execution tenths getting to his qualification score, making it harder for himself, but he's also showing what he can do in an Olympic year. So 2 minutes of warm-up for the athletes and their respective apparatus. For the women, uneven bars final. The athletes will go in rotation 1, Natalie Westlund, Becky Downey, Julie Morano and Ondine Achampong. And then the still rings, as they're called. Rings to most. They are the least stable of all the apparatus, and they therefore require the greatest amount of strength. And these are athletes who have plenty in abundance. Avtisyan, Simonov, Jong and Villafane. Just doing a few warm-ups. Natalie Westlund, Becky Downey. Next to have her opportunity to go through final preparations. Her sister Ellie recently retired, Ellie Downey. Becky's still going strong though. But she has come through so much. So much. Unbelievable resilience, both mentally and physically. An Achilles rupture in 2011, another Achilles rupture a couple of years ago that really set her back, and it was more the balance beam, I suppose, that she really struggled with. She had to rehab quite significantly, and when she returned, she described that return as trying to learn to do routines again with a new foot, to give you an idea of what she went through, and she's still going strong. Undine Achampong turned 20 a week ago. She'll have her opportunity next, but it's Marano, 15-year-old from Italy, making her World Cup debut here. Italy have not sent their strongest female athletes to Cairo this year. And it is an excellent result for Marano to have made this final. The Junior World Vault silver medalist and team bronze medalist. She's going to have to put in a really solid execution score if she is to challenge for a place on the podium, though. Doesn't have the difficulty to be competitive for a medal when listed next to the other athletes in the final, as Achampong gets onto the uneven bars to warm up. Making a rare appearance on the World Cup circuit, but this is an Olympic year. She's also excellent on balance beam. .166 in qualification. The rings final. We'll see 8 competitors go, including this man, Jong Rong-il of Korea DPR, 14.2 in qualification. Villafaña of Argentina just having an opportunity to warm up. Preparing for her routine is Natalie Westlund from Sweden. If her name is familiar, her twin sister Emily represented Sweden as well. She was at the World Championships in Liverpool 2022. Natalie Westlund, 18-year-old from Sweden, first to go in the women's uneven bars final. She qualified 6th with a score of 13.200. This arguably the most spectacular of the women's events. Demands strength as well as concentration, a great deal of courage, coordination, split-second timing, cat-like reflexes to adjust if required. Very solid start for Natalie Westlund. At the heart of the uneven bars are the release and catch elements, and she executed those very nicely. Artur Avtisian of Armenia, top qualifier for the rings final. Artur Avtisian, 14.533 in qualification, the 26-year-old from Yerevan. We'll go now first in the rotation in this rings final. seems to be doing what he does really well. His D score, his difficulty is only 5.9, but his execution is astonishingly good. The 2019 World University Games champion and rings. Oh, lovely strength to start. Into the iron cross from the Maltese. Sticking a landing in the rings final is so critical. Often because the finals are so tightly contested. And the ring's the only apparatus that moves, so the key is to keep them still. Here comes the dismount. Avtisian. A stylish routine. Natalie Westlund, 13.066. It's Becky Downey, MBE. '19 European Games and World Championship silver medalist Rebecca Downey of Great Britain. 3-time European champion, 2-time Commonwealth Games champion. She's been competing in international gymnastics for almost 2 decades now, the 32-year-old. And still competing despite potentially career-threatening injuries. Just speaks volumes to her mental strength and her unbelievable resilience and fortitude. Top qualifier with 13.933. Oh. She has such a lovely swing. It is fantastic. Completing her routine, but there is some disappointment for Downey. Arthur Avtisian, 14.466. So a little down on qualification. '27-year-old Nikita Simonov of Azerbaijan, 14.500 in qualification. Took the bronze medal in Doha and gold in Baku last year. 3 rings golds in the World Challenge Cup series. But he's been focusing on rings in recent years in the hopes of achieving a place at the Paris Olympic Games. Completing the element nicely, just holding. Just including the unison in his routine. A little correction on the landing, but very nicely done from Nikita Simonov. And he's got an element named after him in the code of points, the Simonov. And he first performed at Liverpool at the World Championships in 2022. Roll backwards slowly with straight arms and bring your body to inverted cross through swallow. Nikita Simonov, the champion in Cairo last year. Becky Downey, meanwhile, a score of 12.933. She will be disappointed with that, but she is a courageous athlete who's still going strong and absolutely competitive. Julie Morano of Italy. .200 for the 15-year-old Italian in qualification, qualified 7th for this final. And on a World Cup debut, to have made the final is an exceptional result already. Putting together a really lovely routine. A really lovely routine. Junior World Vault silver medalist, team bronze medalist. Doesn't have the highest degree of difficulty, but she can certainly perform very well. 14.433 for Simonov, so he's not going to take gold in Cairo for the second year in succession. Jong-yong Il of Korea DPR, a 33-year-old from Pyongyang. 14.200 in qualification. Qualified 7th for this final. Holds the element so well. Looking for the big dismount, and he's delighted with that. 14.466 is the mark to beat. Morano, meanwhile, 13.366. She goes into top spot. So, through 3 gymnasts, the Italian, 15 years old, leads. Ondina Champong of Great Britain. The 20-year-old, 13.166 in qualification. She snuck into this final, qualifying 8th. But she's capable of producing a much improved score in the final. We'll be watching her later this weekend as well in the balance beam final. World Team silver medalist with Great Britain at the World Championships in 2022. This is such a lovely routine she's putting together, very smooth transitions. And she could be very pleased with that, Ondine Acheampong. Jung, meanwhile, 14.600. He goes into gold medal position in the rings final. A big improvement of 0.4 from qualification. Now Argentina's Daniel Villafañe. Qualified 8th did Daniel Villafañe for this final. The 30-year-old who studied economics at the University of Buenos Aires. It's a lovely moment for him to be in this final. Holding the handstand for some time here. And Villafañe is delighted with that. Acheampong goes into top spot as expected with that performance. 13.866. She qualified 8th. But a massive improvement by 0.7 sees her in top spot halfway through the uneven bars final. Fukasawa Kokoro warming up. Warm-ups for the next 4 athletes to go in rotation. Fukasawa, Brown, Huang and Luo will go in rotation 2. Fukasawa first to go. Luo will be last to go. That's in the uneven bars final. In the rings final, 4 competitors to go. Aid Said of France, Talak of Great Britain, Maresca of Italy and Davtyan of Armenia. Maresca, who took silver in Cairo last time out. There's Talak. Meanwhile, New Zealand's Georgia Rose Brown going through her warm-ups. Double Commonwealth Games champion, Courtney Tulloch. Villafañe awaiting his score, 14.200. And he was delighted with his routine. The judges perhaps a little less exhilarated by his performance. He's 4th through 4 athletes on rings. Two athletes for China in this uneven bars final, both still to go. They will be the last two competitors. Huang Zhuofan. There's Italy's Maresca on the rings. Huang Zhuofan. If you look at the difficulty in execution breakdowns from qualification, you've got to say that Huang Zhuofan, who made a mistake in qualification, collecting only 7.166. If she's clean in her routine, let's say put her a point higher, you don't want to say she's got the gold medal wrapped up, but she'll certainly be challenging for the gold medal if she can keep her routine clean. There's Maresca. France's Samir Ait Said. He'll be next to go in the rings final. 2019 World Championships bronze medalist. There's Luo Huan, 23-year-old who is already a veteran. Very good competitor. So just about set to go in the second rotation, in the uneven bars final and in the rings final. Final preparations for Fukasawa Kokoro, 22-year-old from Shiga. Fukasawa Kokoro of Japan, 22-year-old, qualified fourth for this final with a 13.500. One of the core Japanese team members. She's genuinely an excellent all-round gymnast who can pop in with exceptional performances and routines. And handstand not quite hitting 12, loses the swing, the momentum. Now to finish strong. And a strong finish from a courageous gymnast who's so very competent. Samir Ait Said of France, five-time European Championships medalist. Samir Ait Said, fifth to go in the men's rings final. Now 34, the Frenchman looking to compete at the Paris Olympic Games. He was France's flag bearer at the Tokyo Olympic Games at the opening ceremony. Many might remember his most unfortunate, horrific leg break during qualification at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. It's exquisite. Keeping the rings so incredibly still. Combining a Jonassen and Yamawaki. Into the iron cross, fingers flared. You can say this about so many athletes in rings finals, but it's just incredibly, incredibly strong. Samir Ait Saeed. Seems pleased. Meanwhile, Fukasawa Kokoro lost her swing, and that'll count as a fall, so she loses a full point. Her execution is down an 11.766 for the shining Japanese star. Now Georgia Rose Brown. Represented Australia for over a decade. And now looking to reach the Olympic Games, representing New Zealand, Georgia Rose Brown. Qualified second, 13.700. At the moment, that would take her into second position behind Achampong, who leads with 13.866. It's an excellent start from Brown. Sticks the landing. Is that going to challenge for the gold medal? I think she believes it might. Georgia Rose Brown. Tall and excellent swing. 14.433, so Ait Saeed sneaks onto the podium for now, but there are 3 athletes remaining in this rings final. Among them, Courtney Tulloch of Great Britain. Courtney Tulloch, 28-year-old double Commonwealth Games champion, 2018 and 2022. Silver medalist on vault in 2018 as well. Part of the gold medal winning England team at the Commonwealth Games of the last 2 editions. The first British gymnast ever to win a global medal on rings, a bronze at the World Championships in Liverpool. Now his difficulty rating, his D score is 6.4. This is an incredibly difficult routine. And while he's likely to shed a few execution points in this routine, he could still score incredibly well and beat his 14.366 from qualification. Bronze medalist at the 2022 World Championships. Remember it so well. Oh, Courtney Tulloch. Disappointment at the end. But a competitor who gives it his all, so very courageous. Georgia Rose Brown looking to beat 13.866, 13.700. She goes into silver medal position with 2 athletes to go. Now, here's an athlete, a gymnast with incredible in-bar work, the 16-year-old Huang Chuofan of China, 4th at the World Championships last year. And I dare say she is poised to improve on her qualifying routine, which scored her 13.466. Huang Chuofan of China next to go. If she puts in a clean routine, given her difficulty, she will absolutely be challenging for the gold medal. Great momentum. Lovely swingfulness, as it's termed. And that is splendid from Huang. She certainly has the ability to put in a score that could better 13.866. But has she done enough? Courtney Tulloch, who right at the very end wrapped his feet around the ring straps, and he's down significantly from qualification and out of the medals. Salvatore Maresca of Italy next to go. Took the silver medal in Cairo in 2023, behind Nikita Simonov and ahead of Artur Avetissian. At the moment, the mark to beat is 14.600. Chung Ryong-il of Korea DPR, who is guaranteed a medal. With just 2 athletes to go in the rings final. This is the penultimate competitor. The man from Naples, nicknamed Thor because of his strength on the rings, Salvatore Maresca. Beautiful control. Into the iron cross, fingers splayed again. Just holds it so well. No planche. This is looking really good for Maresca. How does he finish this routine? Fairly solidly. Salvatore Maresca. Good strength positions, some really good swing movements as well. That's the athlete who had the best command of those elements and positions. It displays the extraordinary skill and rings. He's going to walk away with the gold medal here. This was an exceptional performance, despite the little step on the dismount for Huang Chuofan. Has she got the gold medal in her sights? Her routine looked even better than her performance at the World Championships last year, where she finished 4th. Maresca waits for his score, but Huang Chuofan is still waiting for hers. Maresca 14.500. That puts him second and guaranteed a medal, with only Vahagan Davtyan of Armenia to come. Still waiting for her score in the uneven bars. Huang Chuofan from People's Republic of China. Lovely in-bar work. Her compatriot Luo Huan next to go. .233. She goes into gold medal position with one gymnast remaining. Very much as expected, an improvement by nearly a full point from qualification. Much better execution. And she's poised to take the gold medal here. Only one competitor can deny her, and that is compatriot Luo Huan, who will go here. Luo Huan next to go. The countdown clock has started. She's got around 20 seconds to get her routine underway. And here she goes. 23-year-old Luo Huan of People's Republic of China, returning to the World Cup circuit for the first time since 2018. Twice national champion. Asian Games and Asian champion. World Championships bronze medalist a few years ago. Looking to better her compatriot's mark of 14.233. Huang Chuofan currently in gold medal position, ahead of Ondine Achampong. Very solid performance. Didn't quite get the height and the release for the dismount, but a smile from Luo Huan as she completes her routine and completes the uneven bars final. Vahagan Davtyan, now 35, the older brother of Olympic medalist Artur Davtyan. Man who took up gymnastics at the age of 6, now nearly 30 years later, competing in this rings final. The man who won silver on the rings at the European Championships last year behind the reigning world champion Adem Asil of Turkey. And he has had success in Cairo before on rings. He won gold here in 2022. Starts with a planche. Statuesque character who has a fantastic rings routine. And cross into Maltese. He gets the principle of hitting everything first time. So important in a rings routine. Looking to nail both the strength and swing movements. And that's lovely. Simply lovely from Davtyan. Great support for the Armenian fans. And from the Armenian fans for the Armenian competitors here in Cairo. The mark to beat is 14.600. Jong-rong-il, Salvatore Maresca's silver medal position, 14.5, a point down on Jong. But Vahagan Davtjan very solid start and a quality routine, excellently executed. This is a very tight final as expected. There's less than 0.2 separating the top 5 at the moment. Vahagan Davtjan. .500. He goes into silver medal position. Execution of 8.5 for his 6.0 difficulty routine. Vahagan Davtjan, but that means the champion is Jong-rong-il of Korea DPR, winning the rings title with a splendid performance. Much improved from his qualification score. Davtjan a little down on his qualification. 14.533 in qualification, 14.500 in the final. Maresca on the podium again in Cairo. Courtney Tulloch congratulating the victorious gymnasts. .1 separating the top 3. Luo Huan waiting for her score. The very last competitor on the uneven bars. Needing to better 14.233, 13.966. It's a China 1-2. And Great Britain's Achampong on the podium with the bronze. Maresca being surrounded. Great performance from Maresca. There's the medalists. China 1-2 and Great Britain's Achampong with a very fine bronze. A little love for the world. Huang Zhuofan of People's Republic of China with a splendid gold. Lovely performance that was even better than her World Championships performance last year, arguably. Salvatore Maresca, 14.5, an execution score of 8.3, which ultimately proved decisive because that is what saw him on the tiebreak lose out on the silver medal. The same score as Vahagan Davtjan, but a higher execution score for Davtjan. Argan Davtyan, 8.5 execution. 14.5. Good enough for silver. The champion of the rings, Jong-ryong-il of Democratic People's Republic of Korea. 14.600, 0.1 separating the top three. Undina Champong, 13.866, good enough for a very fine bronze medal, having qualified 8th for this final. And it's not even her favourite event. The balance beam final to come on day 2 of the finals here in Cairo. Luo Huan, the 23-year-old veteran, 13.966, silver medal for People's Republic of China and her compatriots claiming gold. Splendid in-bar work, lovely routine, a difficulty of 6.5, 14.233, good enough for gold for Huang Chuofan. Huang Chuofan, champion on the uneven bars in Cairo. The medal ceremony is still to come. And what a day of action it's been. Confirming the results in the uneven bars. China 1-2 with Huang and Luo finishing 1 and 2. Undina Champong of Great Britain third. Managing Georgia Rose Brown of New Zealand off the podium. Morano with a very fine performance finishes 5th. Becky Downey having come off the apparatus. The rings final was always set to be an intriguing one, and indeed it was. 0.1 separating the top three as Jong takes gold ahead of Davtyan and Maresca, with Davtyan taking the silver courtesy of his better execution. And Vatisian just off the podium. Looking back at moments from the uneven bars final, beginning with Westlund of Sweden. Vatisian began the rings final, and what a beginning. 14.466 that nearly saw him on the podium. Becky Downey, such a competitor. A year ago she hadn't competed for a year, and now she's back. And in an Olympic year, looking strong. She was really strong in qualification. But in the words of commentator Ollie Hogbin, she will finish when she chooses to finish. For the great athlete Downey. Nikita Simonov. Just a little down on his qualification score. Qualified third overall, but finished off the podium in this rings final. Now for the medal ceremonies of the uneven bars and rings. This is the uneven bars medalists who've made their way out to the podium. The presenters will follow. And really important to remember that the Apparatus World Cup points awarded to gymnasts who place among the highest on each apparatus at each event. Gold medal gymnast earns 30 points, silver earns 25, bronze 20, fourth is 18. It works all the way down to 16th place, which then earns a single ranking point. But the World Cup Series rewards gymnasts who are consistent. And the final ranking points will take into account the gymnast's best three performances across the four in the series. This is a brilliant bronze for Ondine Achampong. Turned 20 a week ago, back in the World Cup circuit, and a 13.866, an improvement of 0.7 from qualification, earns bronze. Luo Huan of People's Republic of China, returning to the World Cup circuit for the first time in 6 years, and she's won silver with a 13.966 on uneven bars. But with a clean routine that was exquisite, was Huang Chuofan of People's Republic of China. 14.233 she scored. No, that's Huang Chuofan who we're looking at, the gold medalist. Where's Luo Huan? Twice Asian champion, 2018 Asian Games gold in the team, and silver in both all round and uneven bars. And now for the national anthem of the People's Republic of China. Confirming the medalists in the uneven bars, Achampong of Great Britain with bronze, China with a 1-2, Luo Huan takes silver, and Huang Chuofan gold. The medalists for the still rings final from Italy, Armenia and Korea DPR. Silver medal in 2023. He's got the bronze medal on countback in 2024. Salvatore Maresca of Italy, 14.500. The man from Naples. Hagen Davtyan of Armenia finishes in silver medal position, also with a score of 14.500, but with a higher execution score. The man who won silver at the European Championships last year is silver medalist in Cairo. For the man who takes gold with a much improved performance from qualification, where he posted 14.200, 33-year-old from Pyongyang, Chongyong-il of Democratic People's Republic of Korea, with an exceptional gold medal, 14.600 in the final. Difficulty of 6.2 and an execution of 8.4. Qualified 7th, but finished first in the final. And now, for the second time in Cairo today, the national anthem of Korea DPR. Confirming the medalists in the men's still rings final. Bronze to Salvatore Maresca of Italy. Silver to Vahagan Davtyan of Armenia. And gold to Korea DPR's Jongrong Il. 14.600 in the final. Smiling medalists, all champions. What a wonderful first day of the finals it's been at the opening leg of the World Cup series in 2024.